Hello everyone and welcome to the 11th episode of Learning Java. Today we'll be learning about the various string functions. So all of you know what strings are. Strings can be used in the following manner. So string s, for example, is equal to hello. This string is always put in double quotes and it can be any word, letter, digit, symbol, and it can have spaces or anything else. This is why strings can be used in every single context. So let's say we want to convert a string to uppercase, or we want to convert a string to lowercase. We want to extract a part of the string, or we want to find what index a particular letter of a string is, or we want to extract a character of a particular string. So how do we do all these various functions? So Java helps us in this way by providing us some inbuilt functions which are already in Java. So we can just call those functions by using their names with a particular string. So let's see how this works. So we have a string s is equal to hello. Now we want to convert the string to uppercase, so we can do that by using the .toUppercase function. So how does that work? S is equal to s.toUppercase. This will convert the string s to uppercase and store it in the variable s. So now if we print the string s, so system.out.println s, this should be hello in capital. Let's see. So void main, and we can see that hello is indeed in capital. So please take note of the capital letters. So the first is obviously small and the rest are capital. And this dot operator is used to indicate which string we are referring to by calling the function. You'll understand how these functions are being called and what is the significance of these brackets later on when we cover functions. Now we have, similar to the uppercase function, we have the two lowercase function. So let's say this was in capital HELLO. This s.to lowercase will convert the capital hello string to small, as you can see. Another thing to note here is that let's say we have a string like he small l space plus something like that, a mix of various small capital letters, spaces, and arithmetic symbols. Java, using the upper or lowercase function, will do its respective job and will ignore the rest of the symbols. So whatever is small will remain small when you're converting to lowercase, and any arithmetic symbols and spaces will remain as is. Up next, we have the dot length function. This function is especially useful in many cases, and it can be used to find out the length of a particular string. So how does it work? So first of all, this function returns an integer value. The previous function, which was uppercase and lowercase, returned a string value, but the dot length returns the length of the string as an integer number. So let's say we declare a variable int l is equal to s dot length. So again, we are using the length function, which is written in entirely small, and the dot operator to find out the length of a particular string. So how does the string function work? How does it calculate the length of a particular string? So in this case, we have the string hello. So it's going to count how many characters are there in that string. So it's going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the output should be 5. So if we do void main, you can see that the output is 5. So this also includes spaces, again, symbols, dash, whatever. So I just added 3 symbols, and we can't use a backslash because that'll become a escape sequence. So this is a forward slash, that works. So we put a space, a plus, and a forward slash, so that becomes 8. So this way, the length function can be used to calculate the length of the string. Next, we have the dot trim function. This function removes the spaces at the beginning and at the end of the string, if any. So in this case, this hello string has a space over here, a space over here, and its length is 7 right now. But the characters, the actual characters, except for spaces, are only in these places, and these are just empty spaces. So let's say we want to remove those spaces, we can use the trim function. So this trim function returns a string as a data type. So s is equal to s dot trim. And what this will do is it will trim the s string s. So it will remove this space and this space. So let's say there were like way more many spaces over here. It'll remove all these spaces in the beginning and at the end. But let's say there was a space in the middle of the string. Let's say there are spaces here. Will it remove these spaces? No. It will only remove the spaces before a character except for a space and after character except for a space. So it'll remove only the spaces at the beginning and at the end of a string, if any. So if we do system.out.print ln and we print s, we can see that this removes the spaces at the beginning and at the end of the string, and these spaces between the letters or the symbols remain as is. Next we have the .carat string function. So this function is used to extract a particular character from a string. So in this case, as you already know, this is index 0, this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this string is of length 5 and its indexes will be from range 0 to 4. So let's say we want to extract the letter E. So the letter E is at position 1, index 1. So we can use this, extract that as a character using the carat function. So the carat function will return a character. So char ch is equal to s, which is the string from which we need to extract, s dot carat dot carat 1. So this 1 symbolizes the index of the particular character of which we need to extract from the string s. So in this case, the character at position 1, index number 1 is E. So if we do system.out.print ln ch, it should print E because that's at the first index. But what if we do, let's say 0? So 0 is going to print H. Now you might recall something, that when we use the scanner to accept a character, we usually do this. Char ch is equal to se.next bracket open close dot char at 0. This is what I mentioned in my scanner class video. Now you'll get to know why this actually happens. So if we only need a string to extract, we only use this sc.next. But since we need to get a character, we use the carat function to extract the 0th index of that particular string. So in this case, the user can enter a string as long as he wants. But what's going to be stored in the character will be the 0th index. So this is how this works. Let's say we want to find the index of a particular character in a string. How do we do that? So to find the particular index of a string, we'll use the index of function. And there are two index of function, index of and last index of. First, I'll be covering index of. So index of and last index of both return an integer because they'll be returning the integer value of the index of a particular character. So int n is equal to s, that's the string, dot index of, and we want to find the index of, let's say, the letter O. So we already know that the index of the character O is the 4th index. So if we print system.out.print ln, we print n, the output should be 4 because the letter O occurs at that particular index. But now you might ask, what if I put a character that is not in the string? What if I put A? Then what should be the output? Then if you put a character that is not in that particular string, the output will always be -1. And you'll see this -1 in other functions which I'll be covering in just a moment. So what this function is basically doing, a quick dry run, it's this string s is going to be initialized and then it's going to go int n is equal to s dot index of l. So it's going to start from the 0th index. It's going to check if h is equal to L, no. E is equal to L, no. L is equal to L, yes. So it's going to get out of that particular loop wherever it's executing. And it's going to print that the index of the letter L is 0, 1, 2. So it's the second index. So it's the output, as I explained, is going to be 2 in the case of L. But there's also this L. What if we need to find out the index of the other L? Now comes the last index of. So if we put last index of L, the output in this case will be 0, 1, 2, 3. So you can see it's 3. Now how does last index of and index of work? Index of starts counting from this place. So 0, 1, 2, and as soon as it encounters the particular character, it's going to return the index of that particular character. But last index of starts counting from the end. So it's going to check if O is equal to L, no. And if L is equal to L, that's yes. So since L is in the the second L is in the 4th index, it's going to, it's in the 3rd index, it's going to print out 3. So index of starts checking from the beginning, last index of starts checking from the end. And just as index of, if we put a character that is not in the string, it's gonna return -1. Now you already know that if we want to concatenate two strings, let's say we have string S and string S2 is equal to 1. If you want to concatenate these two strings, we can put that in system.out.println S plus S2. So this will print hello 1, and we are using the plus operator in this case to concatenate the two strings. But there's also another method to do this, which is by using the concat function. So we can do s.concat s2. Now what does this do? It does the same thing. It concatenates both, so it's going to be the same output. But there's actually a major difference between the plus concatenation and the concat concatenation, which I'll be covering in a later session. So just know for now that string S is the first string you want to concatenate with the second string. So this is gonna get added to this. So if you get ever confused, just think of the concatenate as a plus. So S plus S2. Now just to make things a bit more complex, I can do string S3 is equal to 2. Now I want to concatenate all these three strings in the order hello 1, 2. So I can do s.concat s2.concat in the bracket of s.concat s3. So this is a bit confusing. You can see there are lots of brackets. So let's explain what's happening. S.concat, so the S string is going to get concatenated with what's in the bracket. But in the bracket, there's another concat function. So S2 is going to get concatenated with S3. So 1 and 2 comes over here. So 1 gets concatenate with 2. So then this over here becomes 1, 2. So the string in the bracket right now is 1, 2, and then S will get concatenated with 1, 2. So the output should be hello 1, 2, as you can see. Now let's say we want to compare two strings, if two strings are equal or not. So how did we do that in case of numbers? So we did something like if 2 is equal to equals to 3, let's say. So we use the equal operator to find out if two integers are equal. But we can't do that for strings. That's not how it works in Java. We have to use the equals function. So if s dot equals s of 2. So if s equals s2 in case, and it is case sensitive, equals is case sensitive in the length, in the order, and in the case, then the output is going to be true. So if this equals true, which is implied, then we can print something like system.out.println equal, let's say. And if it's not, then we can have the else statement, else, then we can print something like system.out.println not equal. So in this case, s is not equal to s2, so it's gonna print not equal. But let's say we put both the strings as equal. Let's say we put this also as hello. It's going to print equal. So the equal function is the same as a double equal to, but equals is used for strings. Now let's say we want to compare the two strings by ignoring the case. So if we only use the equals function and we put a capital H, so small, entirely small hello and one capital letter over here, it's going to show that it's not equal because it's case sensitive. But let's say you want to ignore the case, we can use equals ignore case in this case. So it's going to ignore the case and check everything else, the length and the order. So in this case, it's going to print equal. So it's ignoring the case of both the strings. So technically what Java internally does is it converts both of them to the same case, like upper or lower case, doesn't matter. And then it checks if they are equal or not. So now let's say we want to check if a particular string starts with a particular character or not. We can do that by using the Startswith function. So as you can see, the Startswith function returns a Boolean data type like the equals and equals ignore case. So if S string starts with H, string H, note this should be in string because we are checking if that particular string starts with the string of that string. So it can't be a character. Just note that, so it should be in double quotes. So if S dot starts with H, then it should print yes, otherwise it should print no. So you can see it's printing yes. But again, as I said, Java is case sensitive. If we put this S2, then the output's going to be no because this is a capital H and we put a small h over here. So it's going to print no. So that's how the Startswith function works. In the same way, we have the Endswith function. So if S2 dot ends with, it's going to check if the particular string ends with the letter H. So in this case, it doesn't. So it's going to print no. And if we put O in the check, then it's going to print yes because the particular string does end with the letter O. Now we have arguably the most useful string function, the s.substring. So the substring function is used to extract a part of a string. So it will extract a part of a string and then return a string. So let's say we want to extract a part of string S and store it in string S2. So we can do string S2 is equal to s.substring. And now in this bracket, before and after the comma, we can put the index numbers from where we want the string to get extracted. So let's say we want LO, ELL, only L to get extracted. So we'll put the index from 0, so 1. This is E, so 1. So we want the string to get extracted from 1 to index number 3. But the second number we put over here should be 1 greater than the ending of the substring function. So in this case, we want the index number 3 till 3 to be extracted. So we want 2 else to be printed at the end also. So we have to put 4. So it's plus 1. In the first case, it's not plus 1, but in the second parameter, it's plus 1. So string S2 is going to be extracted from string S from index number 1 to index number 3. But we have to put 4 here as we have to add 1. That's how Java works for some reason. So if we do system.out.println and we do S2, this should print ELL, as you can see. So that's how it works. Now let's say you want to print from E till the whole thing. So you want to print LO. So you can do that by putting 1 comma 5 because this is the fourth index plus 1, so 5. But instead of specifying the ending parameter, if you want to, you can just leave the string as it is. So if you just specify the starting index, let's say 1 in this case, it's going to print every single character in that string from that particular index till the end. So it's going to print LO if you only put 1. So in short, the substring function, if there's only one parameter, prints from that particular parameter inclusive to the end of the string. But if we have two parameters, then it's going to print from the first number index inclusive till the end not inclusive. So that's how the substring function works. So there are various other string functions in Java, but these are the major ones. I'll cover them, the other ones, in later sessions. So that's it for today, everyone. Thanks for watching. And if you have any queries, doubts, or suggestions, you can mail me. My email will be in the description down below. And thanks again for watching.